What up? So check it out. Today is what? Tuesday, the 21st of January, 2025. I think I want to talk about defining yourself.
Self-definition.
Yeah, excuse the burping. Defining yourself for yourself. I'm under the belief that nothing can define you but you. Nothing can describe you for you but you. So, what I'm saying is, not no fucking bullshit description of what it means to be a black dude in America, for example. This by example. Nothing can explain that. If you're a black dude in America, that means nobody else can tell you what that means except for you. It means only you can define you for you. Nobody else can do that.
Right.
Not stereotypes, not a story somebody told you before, not a movie, you know what I mean? Shit like that. None of that. Really, all of that is just a perspective of somebody anyway. It's just a perspective. I'm saying all this to say that you don't have to be anybody else but who you are. And you don't have to let the other things outside of yourself define you. So, for example, just here, go ahead. You want to speak on it?
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, because there's a when I take a look around, I see there's a lot of people struggling with defining who they are, and a lot of times it's because and what they think they know of themselves is only based on what their parents told them who they were, family, their significant other told them who they are, what society tells them who they are, right, and what they should do. But I think that's a disastrous way to go, and I think in the long run you'll be a lot happier if you took out the time to define yourself. And that's just a matter of either what your heart tells you, or you can just choose to say, this is who I am. We see a lot of that. I do see some people doing that as well. And that's kind of a controversial thing, I think. A lot of people have issues with people just self-defining themselves. Because honestly, I was watching some videos on identity shifting, right? And in part of that, a big part of that they were talking about where really people who are the most successful shift identities all the time. They shift identities all the time. But I think in society, people have a huge issue with that because people want you to stay consistent with that one person, with that one definition of who you said you are. But in reality, I think it's smart to change identities all the time, because to be able to go up to different heights, you have to become a different person each time. Mm-hmm. So I think identity shifting or self-defining yourself is very important. I think it's a good skill to have.
Yeah. Also, I think it's important not to confuse with what you do not to confuse what you do
with your identity,
with who you are.
Right.
When people say, "What do you do?" I hate that stupid ass question. They're really asking who you are, but they're trying to fucking read you by what you do and really basically define you by that.
100%. Yeah.
So that's one reason why I don't like that question. It's not really genuine. Really.
What do you do?
But what they really want to know is who you are.
Right.
But what you do doesn't really speak on who you are, or nor does your sexuality, nor does your personality. These are traits that you do sometimes, or most times, is that you learn them from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do as humans. Starting from a baby, the first things we learn a lot about who we think is our personality, in my opinion, comes from our parents.
Right.
What they said to you over and over, what they did in front of you over and over. You start taking that on and thinking that's who you are.
Right.
Not necessarily. It might just be some of the things you do.
Definitely saw that in our lives. A lot of beginning of our lives, I saw a lot of our personality was really just what we call our identity at the time was just based off who our father told us.
Yeah.
Because we were very close to him. He was very influential in our life. So a lot of what we thought who we were was based off what our dad said we were.
What's the trip is when you meet people later and the people that watch you grow up or knew you from when you was a kid and they try to tell you who you are, and you have to remind them that maybe that's who you were, but that don't even sound like me now because it doesn't align with who I am.
Right.
That's some awkward moments around the family sometimes when they say shit to you like that.
Right.
But you have to understand that it's just who they see. They remember everybody sees you a lot of different ways. You see you as a different way, but everybody else sees you a different way.
Right.
A bunch of different ways, man.
Different perspectives.
Shit, if I had to guess, I'm probably perspective-wise, people probably see me about 25 different ways.
Right.
But I see me as this one way.
Right.
And that's normal. It's a perspective thing. That's what we're doing here. We're here to learn from other people's perspectives, other people's angles of us.
And speaking on that, I think we should try to put more effort in seeing things from different perspectives. Not just seeing things your way. Try to see things from another perspective. You know, literally imagine yourself as instead of like, for instance, sometimes I'll look at myself. I'll try to look at myself through his eyes. Now maybe that's probably not the greatest because he's so close to me and we're so similar. But my point I'm trying to make is the person who's near me, I try to see myself through their eyes. Imagine seeing yourself through their eyes. What would they see you as? Because that's going to be a different perspective, you know? You probably see something totally different. It's a good little practice to try, you know? I do it all the time, at least to people who are close to me, you know?
Yeah.
Try to see myself from a different perspective. And it's a good way to learn more about yourself. Try to see yourself from a different perspective.
I got a question. At what point does they say we're creatures of habit, right? You heard that saying before?
Yeah.
We're creatures of habit? Okay, so I guess that basically says that we're, you know, like, they make it seem like having good habits lead to success. Probably so. But at what point does being so habitual become a detriment?
Yeah. Well, I think it all depends on what the habits are. If they're negative habits, then it's going to lead you to you know, a circumstance that's
okay. At what point do good habits become detrimental? Nah, bro.
Sorry, say that again.
At what point do positive ones become detrimental?
At what point do positive ones
habits
become detrimental? Yeah, I don't think they can be. I don't think they can lead to that. You know, I don't think they can be. Positivity leads to positivity.
Well, in that aspect, yeah. But if you're, in my opinion, from an experience, if you're so locked into this one way of doing things, if you're so locked into one way of doing things, first of all, you become very predictable. I don't think that's smart. Second of all, you don't leave room for any new experiences.
True.
Because you're just doing the same thing over and over and over. Even though it leads to positive results, yeah. But what new experiences come in?
All right, so okay. So what I was gonna say. So what I'll say to that is this: being doing all the same things all the time, being consistent with the same thing. I think it's all good and well when you get to that goal or that, let's say that identity, let's say that reality that you're looking to reach, right?
Like Nipsey said, he said, stick to the script to the screen change, right?
That part, exactly. But once you get there, then it's time to switch it up.
Yeah, I get that.
I think that's so. I think that's at that point where you say where does it become detrimental? Is once you realize you're at that place you were trying to get to,
and you stay the same.
Yeah. Then switch it up, because otherwise you will stay the same and you hit a plateau.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to defining yourself.
For sure. So yeah, I mean, basically that really comes back into knowing yourself. Once you learn to define yourself for yourself, and don't let no outside influences define that for you, you get to know yourself better.
Right.
And that's always a good thing. It's self-growth. That's growth. That's self-love. Knowledge of self.
So I think some of that starts with asking yourself, who am I?
Ask yourself the hard questions.
Right. Ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Who am I? How did I get here? Who said that I'm this person? Some people say, "Oh, I'm a funny guy." Well, who says? You, or is that what people tell you are? Ask those questions. Those questions will lead to some profound answers, and I think it'll lead you in a good direction as far as this whole self-defining thing. Because it's important to define yourself for sure. Because we live in a world that was as quick to define you and tell you who you are and where to go, But that's part of being free, is taking that power back. You know, define yourself. And don't hesitate to change that definition from time to time, you know, because I guarantee you, as you reach different levels in life,
It's gonna change.
those definitions will change, you know. But once again, be very, very wary of who's making those definitions, because people will do it and you don't even realize that came from someone else, right?
It's subtle.
Right?
It happens subtly, man.
Yeah.
The good thing is that you can spot it because it's a lot of the shit that you learn from childhood.
Right.
A lot of the shit that we still do from childhood out of habit or out of fear sticks with us the most because it made the most impact on us. It made the most impact emotionally. For the longest, we were afraid of a dog. We were afraid of dogs.
Oh, wow.
And anything that looked like that motherfucker for 2 reasons. And I can remember them, see if you can. I remember one from we was sitting in the sandbox and we was building sandcastles like some true beach babies. And this golden retriever came over. Wasn't really aggressive, but to two fucking kids, two babies. This dog barking, this big ass dog barking all loud and shit.
I don't even remember
scared
this
the fuck out of me.
Wow.
So that was my first memory of being afraid of a dog.
Right.
Then I remember another time we was with Dad and he had us both and we were walking down the street in Venice.
My story.
And
that's
fucking
my memory.
cheerleader had their little Chihuahua dogs, two of them, and they just fucking were vicious. And my dad picked us up, and I remember going, okay, fuck dogs, man.
Yeah,
These
because I
motherfuckers
ran
are
out.
violent.
I remember when it started barking at me, I ran off to the right and almost got hit by a pink Cadillac.
Yeah, remember that shit?
All throughout that whole situation,
Yeah.
the dogs barked at us. I got scared, ran across the street,
Yeah.
and almost got hit by a pink Cadillac.
Yeah.
And from that moment, all throughout my life, I had been afraid of all dogs, big, small, didn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, I had a real fear of dogs. And now I can say that because I've faced a lot of those fears, I'm not afraid of dogs right off the bat. Now, am I wary of dogs I don't know? Of course, you know.
Yeah.
Any strange dog, I'm gonna be very wary of. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be cautious when I approach them, or if I approach them at all. But I'm not like walking around fearful when I see a dog anymore. It wasn't. I used to be the kind of person I saw a dog, I was running the other way. It didn't matter what kind of dog it was. It was pretty. Pretty major, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like, you know, obviously that was holding me back in life, and I didn't like that. That side of that scared part of myself, you know. Also, as far as defining myself, I've defined myself as a person who doesn't run from anything, you know. At one time in my life, I was a person who was a runner, you know. If I had any kind of complication at all, I would run from it. But now, I feel like I'm the kind of person who, as soon as I have a problem, I face it. As soon as I see a problem, I go head on with it. I don't run from it at all.
Yeah, when you do that, you're taking your power back, so to speak. Because anything that like something like fear, something like that, pain, those things in a way kind of weaken you, energy-wise. It weakens you in terms of energy, just temporarily. And every time you face something like that, you kind of get your power back. Like, you're able to take that back because you faced it, you stood over it.
Right.
Because it's all energy.
That's how I see it.
It's just pieces of you, really, shit. It's energy. You face that, you're facing yourself. You ain't facing nothing else anyway. Your so-called demons, all the shit that you're scared of and shit, that's you. You're afraid of you. Because only you can define you. That means there ain't nothing else outside you that can tell you who you are. Even though we live in America, we're told that who we are all the time in a lot of different ways. But at the end of the fucking day, it's up to you to say who you are. Okay? Not your past experiences, not your grandma, your grandpa, your cousins, the bully that used to bully you as a kid, your ex-girlfriend, none of that. It's still up to you. All that may have happened and all may have been real and may have made an impact on your life. But it doesn't have to be your story today, though. That was then, this is now. Only you can say how it fucking ends. That was the past, this is now. Only you can say how it goes.
Who you are currently.
Who you are today is who you are today.
Right.
And you don't owe nobody else nothing. If it's in the past, it's in the past. But this is what you're doing right now. And this is what makes tomorrow. This is what you do today is what builds your future.
Right.
It doesn't happen any other way.
There is no future without the current circumstances.
So just, make sure when you're moving in a place of purpose in a space, or you're moving out of love, first of all, not fear of who you think someone else says you should be. Learn to find out who you are and then love that. And if it's not if it's uncomfortable, okay, then just know that about yourself. Doesn't mean you have to fucking make a big deal out of it in your head or whatever, you know. Just understand that and move the fuck on. You don't have to hold on to that either.
It doesn't always have to have like the special meaning either, you know.
Yeah, don't have to mean
It
shit.
doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It could just
Just
be
is.
that, just that, right?
Yeah.
And I think honestly, most things are just that. They just are.
We tend to make them these big things.
In fact, we give the meaning.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anything inherently has any meaning at all. I think we put the meaning into it.
Yeah.
You know, which is a great thing because it's a good testament to how much power you really have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in your own world, in your own life, you have the power to define it however you want to say how it means. You know, as in yourself too.
For
You
sure.
know, as far as like, because you know, people they deal with which direction am I supposed to go in?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is a supposed to go anywhere. You get to say where you go. You know, you get to say whatever your direction is. It's a good thing.
Yeah. I think it helps to kind of see life in a little bit more of a play or something, you know. You're writing the script.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think when you think in terms of like life, in terms of, like of that, it becomes more playful. I think people should try to find more ways to make life more playful.
Right? Because it seems so serious already.
It's already enough to make it seem so serious.
Right.
Use your imagination for a little bit. Suspend what you think you know, what you've been told. I mean, go crazy for a little hot second. You might say you got to go fucking protest this crazy idea. Just keep it between you and you.
Right.
You and God. You and the ocean. You and the woods. Wherever the fuck you are. Just get outside your box and let your mind go a little crazy for a hot second. Just use your imagination a little bit more and just be in that.
Oh God, it's good advice.
You know, that's not hard. That doesn't take a lot out of you. That's really just daydreaming.
Right.
So just go take a moment to do that, man. We need it. Everybody needs it. We all need it.
Right.
It's time to stop being so goddamn serious. Don't take yourself so serious, first of all, because it's not that serious. It can get serious, but that's only when you start taking it that serious.
Right. It's as serious as you make it.
Just try to be a little lighthearted. I know it's easier said than done, but you got to try. Right. If you try, you'll probably get there, and you'll start probably noticing things that you didn't notice before.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely take life light. Someone told us that a long time ago when we were going through a real rough time, and out of nowhere there's this guy just sitting on the corner in front of a liquor store, and a lot of times people wouldn't pay attention to someone like that. Think, oh, that's just a drunk bum or whatever. But for some reason, that man, when he said that to us, man, it was exactly what we needed to hear at that right time, and it has, I'd say, changed the trajectory of my life. At that point, it made me go in a different direction in life. When he said, "Hey, take life light," and we looked at each other and was like, "Damn, I sure needed to hear that right now."
Hell yeah,
I was
man.
taking everything heavy, taking everything serious.
Yeah.
Where I was supposed to go, who I was supposed to be, you know. At this given time, I should have been here by now. You know, at this age, I should have been here already. I should have been doing this already. You know, regrets about what I didn't do. You know, so that's some good advice. Take life light, you know, on this journey of defining who you are.
That's
You
right.
know, deciding who you are, where you want to be, at every given moment. You
Yeah.
know?
And that reminds me to tell you, man, be gentle with yourself while you're doing that. Be patient with yourself. Give it time. Doesn't have to happen overnight, and it really doesn't happen overnight.
Nah.
But just the best thing you can do is just be honest with yourself and take it one step at a time.
Right.
The better you know yourself, the better you get to understand the things around you. Once you do that, you have more control of your own life, and the more you get to know yourself. So I say that with love. I say to love yourself first and foremost. Everything you do should come from a place of love. Love yourself.
Lead with love.
Lead with love. Define yourself. Define yourself. Nobody else can define you but you. Define yourself for you. I don't care if you're male or female, young, old, whatever. Define yourself for yourself. Also, I love you. I love myself. Love yourself for yourself.
For sure.
I fucks with y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
all that good stuff.
We are DV.
We'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Holla at y'all, man.
Love you.
Enjoy your day.